Felipe and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we will speak if you should or shouldn't go back to your ex. If it's the first time you're here, this channel will talk about the relationship and dating advice out there. If you like this content, please consider subscribing to this channel and let's go to this video. So, I just got a message from one of my followers and she asked, my ex and I broke up a couple of years ago, but despite a series of flings since, I'm still not over him. Is it crazy to try and get back together? So, first thing first, there was a reason why you broke up. Remember that it's easy to get relationship amnesia after a series of unsuccessful romantic entanglements. Sometimes failed dates or hookups can leave us sorting through our history and idealizing old and familiar patterns. Okay? So, sometimes failed dates or hookups can leave us sorting through our history and idealizing old and familiar partners. Feeling discouraged or worse, desperate leaves us in a bad position when it comes to decision making. With that said, sometimes an old flame didn't work out for one reason back then, but it's would and can thrive now. Now, I'm meaning celebs are break up and make up all the time if you think about it. To figure out which scenario yours is, you need to ask yourself a series of questions. You may even want to implement the help of an honest and objective friend to explore the answers. Now, why did you break up? Okay? Are you idealizing your former and or the relationship? What has changed that make you think that things will be different this time around? And the fourth question is, what has your former partner done to become a more capable partner since the breakup? Okay? If trust was broken on either end, can you rebuild it? And the sixth question is, are you both willing to do the work to repair what didn't work before? And how will you do that work actually? All these questions, you can write them if you want, are super important that you answer them before you make any move. Now, I want to stress the third question on that list. What has changed? It's one too often goes ignored. Have you reconciled? What work have you done on yourself to improve your relationship skill? What work have they done? Now, it has been said, wherever you go, there you are. It's the same way with relationship. The core problems that once existed are likely to continue to exist once you get past the honeymoon stage. Unless both of you done a lot of work on yourself and truly grown, develop new skills and learn new tools, you are likely to find yourself back in the same place where you were when you broke up. That journey, especially if it was a contentious breakup, begins with reconciliation. Sometimes when a relationship dissolves, it's because of a slow erosion that occurs in the connection and interactions between the two parties. Other times, more frequently, there is a life-changing event. One person betrays another, words are said that are so painful that there's no turning back, addictions affect your joint life, one partner fails to show up to support the other person, and the list goes on and on. Whether you were on the giving or receiving end of the behavior that ultimately terminated the relationship, to move forward you need to make amends. Alright? So, when it comes to making amends, I always recommend looking for what I call the 4R in my book, Unlock His Desire. Without these 4 essential steps, a relationship really can't heal. So the first step is what I call remorse. Remorse is a heartfelt apology that comes from the realization of the hurt that you have caused. Saying I'm sorry is not enough. Those are just words. A meaningful apology verbalizes the understanding of the pain that you have caused and shows regret for the action taken. The second thing is responsibility. Taking responsibility is showing ownerships of your actions as well as their impact, even if the pain caused was unintentional. When you take responsibility, you let the other person know that you understand the gravity of the situation you have caused and you recognize what you have done wrong. The third one is recognition. It's important to provide a forum to talk through what happened and process everyone's feeling. When people knows that their pain has been heard, it helps them to heal. The fourth step is remedy. The person make amends must repair the damage that has been caused and take action to avoid repeating the bad behavior. Having a plan of action that addresses the issues that cause the person to behave badly is a good start. Sometimes that can mean ditching social media, switching jobs, attending therapy, or going to rehab. The fourth step is putting a plan of action in place. This is probably the most vital. If there is any chance of mending the relationship, but too often couples skip it or assume it's once and done conversation, so it's not so good. I can't tell you how many calls I have gotten on my YouTube show and my radio show in the past from people whose spouse has done something terrible repeatedly and then they choose to take them back. I see this case most often in women. I ask them, so what did he do to make you think it would be different this time? What plan of action does he have to correct this bad behavior? The answer is always the same. Nothing. He said he was sorry and that he wouldn't do it again. Without a plan of action, nothing changed. To take someone back who has repeatedly harmed you and maybe themselves but is not committed to doing anything differently, it's to sign on for more of the same hurtful behavior. To apologize without implementing a plan is to set yourself to re-offend and hurt your partner. Now, reconciliation and action are not always possibilities, unfortunately. And there are some indicators that should be absolute deal breakers. Any abuse, whether it's physical, emotional, or sexual, is totally unacceptable. So, if your partner did something bad to you once, there is always the possibility it will happen again, right? And you will never be free to be totally honest with them. So, if someone has an addiction or mental illness but is unwilling to get treatment, this is also a deal breaker. If someone is morally and ethically not aligned with you, that it's not going to change. You can change behavior, but you cannot change a character. If someone is compulsive, okay, that it's likely to remain the same. Too, that's different than someone who screwed up just one time. If someone is compulsive liar, you will never able to maybe trust them again. And trust is the foundation of any successful relationship. If your former partner was guilty of any of the above, I recommend moving on. And also you need to remember that all of these bad things I described, if they only happen once and it didn't repeated, so probably it's fine. The person understands his mistake and you can move on with him and try a new relationship with him. But if it's consistently happening, so yes, you need to consider, and I don't recommend you to go back to this. But, and here is the big but, sometimes relationship ends because of bad timing. Usually, in that case, two partners are not on the same page about big lifestyle decisions or stages where it's about settling down, marriage, kids, career, moves, or commitment. With time too, one partner's priority may catch up with the others. If everything else in the relationship work, but a major discrepancy in goals drove you apart, it makes perfect sense that as those goals shift, so your compatibility. Call it backsliding. But in such a case, getting back together with an ex seems more than sensible. That's it for today. I hope this advice helped you, and after listening to me and you're still thinking to get back together is the right thing, so go for it. But start slow. Start slow. Reach out to your former significant other and see if he or she is willing to meet up to have a conversation. Spend some time together, see if you connect like you used to. You may discover that you're actually completely over him, or you may discover that your story together has just begun. That's it. If you like this content, please consider subscribing to this channel below. And also, if you want to take your relationship to the next level, there is link down below to my coaching programs. There is only two: mastermind and another one that is like a group coach. Just two programs. And if you're serious about this, go down to my site, click on the link, fill the application, and if it will be good, we will work together on your relationship. And I will see you on my next video. Ciao.